Imagine for a moment the name Schumacher echoing once again through the speakers of a sports arena. But this time, it's not engines roaring at 300 km/h that fill the air. It's the hooves of thoroughbred horses pounding the ground in almost musical synchrony. This is how Gina-Maria Schumacher, daughter of legendary seven-time Formula One champion Michael Schumacher, is rewriting the history of the most famous surname in world motorsports. At 28, Gina not only carries the weight of an extraordinary legacy, she is masterfully expanding it. In 2025, she was crowned World Reining Champion, an achievement that not only confirms her talent in the equestrian arena, but also marks a fascinating new chapter in the Schumacher family's sporting saga. The historic achievement took place at CS Ranch in Givrin, Switzerland, a property owned by her mother, Corinna Schumacher. What more perfect setting could there be for such a significant victory? There, surrounded by stunning alpine scenery and the energy of elite competitors from countries like Italy, the Netherlands, Germany, the United States and Switzerland, Gina shone in absolutely spectacular fashion. Riding Take Out the Trash, a name that ironically means taking out the trash, but actually took Gina to the top of the world podium. She won gold in both the individual and team categories representing Germany. And here's a fascinating detail. On her social media, Gina also thanked another equine partner, Valentino, indicating that she works with multiple champion partners. This demonstrates not only her versatility, but also her ability to create deep connections with different horses. But how did a girl born in 1997 reach this level of excellence? The answer lies in the perfect combination of natural talent, tireless dedication, and a family environment that exudes high-performance sport. Growing up immersed in the equestrian world with the constant encouragement of Corinna, an internationally recognized horse enthusiast, Gina began her journey in reining competitions at the age of 9. Since then, her trajectory has been simply impressive. She became the first woman to win the NRHA European Derby Open twice in a row, a feat that alone would place her in the history of the sport. But Gina didn't stop there. She also won the NRHA Breeders' Futurity Open title, was a junior gold medalist at the FEI European Reining Championships, and now the icing on the cake, team and individual world champion in 2025. And here's a jaw-dropping fact. At 28, Gina has already accumulated over $716,000 in prize money. This isn't just impressive financially, it's concrete proof that she's among the top names in the sport, in both the United States and Europe. For those unfamiliar, let me introduce you to one of the most technical and exciting disciplines in Western riding. The discipline of reining, or reining as it's known internationally, has its roots deeply rooted in cattle ranching in the American West. But what began as a practical necessity has evolved into a high-performance art that demands surgical precision, poetic fluidity, and an almost telepathic connection between horse and rider. Young talent, especially in Germany, was being encouraged to enter the sport. The movements are breathtaking. Spins are dizzying turns, where the horse spins on its own axis at a speed that defies physics. Sliding stops are dramatic stops where the animal skids in a controlled manner, creating a cloud of dust that looks like something out of a western. And circles are executed at high and low speeds with a precision that would make a mathematician weep with emotion. Each move is evaluated by expert judges who consider not only technical execution, but also control, style, and fluidity. Any deviation or resistance is penalized, making each performance a test of steel nerves and exceptional skill. And here we come to a fascinating aspect of the story. The place where Gina won her world title is not just any property. CS Ranch is considered the epicenter of reining in Europe, a true temple of the sport. With international standard infrastructure, the center houses 25 horses and serves as a base for elite training, high-level competitions, and international exchanges. But the Schumacher family doesn't stop there. They also maintain the XCS Ranch in Texas, USA, with approximately 130 breeding mares. This ranch operates under the supervision of renowned trainer Dwayne Latimer, who serves as Gina's mentor. Just imagine a young German woman training in the United States with one of the world's best coaches, applying American techniques in European competitions. It's sporting globalization at its highest level. The 2025 event broke participation records, proving that Europe can not only organize tournaments on par with the American ones, but is also establishing itself as a new hub for the development of the sport. But perhaps the most touching aspect of this victory is its emotional timing. Gina-Maria's achievement came at a particularly significant moment, just months after the birth of her first daughter with her husband Ian Bethke. That's right, Michael Schumacher became a grandfather. The couple had celebrated their wedding in September 2024 in an intimate ceremony in Spain and were now experiencing the joy of starting a family. Imagine the emotional toll of this moment. A new mother representing her country in a world competition, carrying the weight of an extraordinary family legacy. And all of this happening while her father, the icon Michael Schumacher, has remained discreetly out of public life since his serious skiing accident in 2013. The Schumacher family has always kept Michael's condition strictly confidential, but the message Gina shared on social media after the victory speaks for itself. Gold for Team Germany. Proud to represent our country. Simple, direct, but loaded with meaning. It's the pride of representing Germany. It's the continuation of the Schumachers' competitive spirit. It's proof that the legacy goes far beyond the Formula One track. The impact of Gina's achievement was immediate and impressive. In Europe, there was a notable increase in public awareness of reining, a sport that until then was relatively unknown outside the United States. New sponsors began to show interest, and even more, Gina-Maria has become a natural ambassador for the reins. She's technical, charismatic, and victorious. She represents a new generation of athletes who not only carry on family legacies, but also build their own stories, keeping the flame of sporting excellence alive in completely innovative ways. Some facts about Gina-Maria will make you admire her even more. She once paid tribute to Michael Schumacher in a themed performance in Italy. Imagine the emotion of this moment where the daughter paid tribute to her father in such a creative and touching way. Her journey began literally small. She began competing in reining at age 9, riding a pony. From a pony to world champion horses, what an extraordinary evolution. Gina is among the few women who have managed to significantly distinguish themselves in professional reining competitions, a sport traditionally dominated by men. And that number we mentioned earlier? Over $716,000 in prize money from the NRHA, National Reining Horse Association, isn't just impressive. It's groundbreaking for a European athlete in a predominantly American sport. Gina-Maria Schumacher's story is fascinating because she achieved something extraordinary, honoring her family legacy while creating something completely new. She didn't try to follow in her father's footsteps on the Formula One track. That would have been impossible and, frankly, unnecessary. Instead, she found her own passion, her own talent, her own arena of excellence. And what's most beautiful about all this? She's doing it with the same dedication, the same pursuit of perfection, the same competitive spirit that made Michael Schumacher a legend. The difference is that now it's happening to the sound of hooves instead of engines, in dirt-covered arenas instead of asphalt, with horses as companions instead of cars as tools. Gina-Maria's victory isn't just a world title, it's a powerful symbol of continuity and innovation. It's proof that true legacies aren't limited to a single sport or generation. They transform, evolve, and find new expressions. While Michael Schumacher made the world stop to watch Formula One, His daughter is helping a new generation discover the beauty, technique, and thrill of the reins. And that, my friends, is what I call a legacy in motion, literally. The next time you hear the name Schumacher, remember, it's not just about speed and victories on the asphalt. It's about excellence, dedication, and the extraordinary ability of a family to continue making history even when the arena changes completely.